Yes, ma'am.
Caller,
Yes,
write
ma'am.
your name and roll number in chat box. Yes, tell me. It is constant current study of constant current source in the laboratory instruction sheet. Experiment number 10. That should be done by the in power system lab. But I think that experiment you have already done in your second year, is not it? Is not it in your second year, second sem? Have you done that experiment constant current source, or in first sem?
First sem, ma'am.
At
Second
least
year, first.
I want to know only that this experiment has already been done. You have already learnt about this experiment and submitted the report. Is
Yes,
not
ma'am.
it? So actually,
Yes,
in
ma'am.
this in place of this experiment, there should come an experiment on transmission line. But at this moment, due to the pandemic situation, we cannot show this one in the hardware format, because that is not ready in as setup. The supply is there, the instrument is there, but not in the experimental setup format. So we shall explain this experiment in simulation mode. Okay. In MATLAB Simulink, MATLAB Simulink is like an experiment, but obviously in MATLAB Simulink, all the experiment is done by a calculation. But there all the calculation are done using the differential equations. So they are more near to the practical than the other calculate programming, where we do only the calculation using that, assuming that all the equations are linear. So here actually, whatever be the circuit diagram, that we shall make in MATLAB Simulink and verify the result. All the students should write their name in chat box. Okay, at last I shall again take one attendance. I shall again take one view of this chat box. Anyway, let us start the explanation. So here we had actually planned. Can you see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
So
Yes,
we have
ma'am.
planned for the experiment. Yes, tell me. We have planned for an experiment to study the performance of a long transmission line. So for long transmission line, there is this concept of surge impedance loading, characteristic impedance, light loading condition, heavy loading condition, low load condition. So all those conditions we shall incorporate in the model and verify our theoretical concept. That is the experiment. So what are the? I shall give the PPT of the PDF of this PPT. So you have no need to copy this PPT. So what are the objective? So in every case, we shall observe the waveform of VR, VS, and IS. I have written only this much, but at the same time, we shall observe we shall study the performance of the transmission line. Okay, let me write that one. So actually the objective may be to study the performance of a transmission line and observe the waveform of VR, VS, and IS. IR may be there also, but in MATLAB, if you put the meters on oscilloscope, we can see the so many parameters. Here I have chosen only this much, otherwise circuit will be more complicated. But if we learn that one, we can do anything. Then which conditions we shall verify? One is when receiving end is loaded with SIL of the line. SIL is the surge impedance of the line. Second is when receiving end is loaded with a resistance. That means at receiving end there is a resistance equal to the characteristic impedance of the line. So this objective 2 is also SIL of the line, but not in load mode, but in a impedance mode, where is a resistance. So result, we can expect the simulation result of objective 1 and objective 2 more or less will be same. Third is when receiving end is loaded with a load which is less than uh, SIL of the line. So here receiving end will be loaded with a load which is less than SIL of the line. I have written here consider two set of load, but this is not required because that will be repetitive. We shall consider only one load where receiving end will be loaded with a load less than SIL. So if it is less, SIL is 400 megawatt, so we shall load receiving end at any load less than 400 megawatt. And next is we receiving end will be loaded with a load which is more than SIL of the line. If the SIL is 400, so it will be 800, 600 like that. Another is receiving end is at no load condition. So what we can expect when SIL it will be loaded at surge impedance loading, then that will be the ideal condition. So at any point of the transmission line, power factor will be 1 because voltage and current will be in same phase. But for when it is less than SIL of the line, then there will be uh, Ferranti effect because the reactive power generated will be less than reactive power requirement. That means inductive capacitive VAR for the objective 3, when the receiving end is loaded with a load less than SIL, then there will be surplus capacitive VAR. So there will be an over voltage condition may happen depending on inductance of the line. So we may observe the Ferranti effect. Then next is when receiving end is loaded with a, so when, what will happen in Ferranti effect? So receiving end voltage will be more than sending end voltage or near to sending end voltage if inductance is high of the line. When the receiving end is loaded with a load which is more than SIL of the line, then that means heavy loading condition. So there will be a voltage drop in the line and power factor will no longer be unity. There will be a power factor phase difference in voltage and current at any point of the transmission line. We can trap any point of the transmission line in MATLAB Simulink model, but here I have shown to limit the experiment only for the sending end, but any at receiving end, at midpoint of the line, anywhere we can measure it. Another is when receiving end at no load condition. So for long line, if the receiving end has no load condition, then obviously there will be Ferranti effect. So we can verify the Ferranti effect from the objective 5 and objective 3 maybe. 3 may be because it will be dependent on how much less from the SIL. But for objective 5, we shall obviously get the Ferranti effect. We can verify it. So how can we calculate characteristic impedance? You know, characteristic impedance is root over Z by Y. So if we simulate a lossless transmission line, here we are simulating. So we can, if we do not provide resistance, then that will be lossless transmission line. And in practical case, we must consider a conductor in such a way that resistance will be negligible as compared to the XL or XC. Anyway, then ZC will be root over L by C ohm. So if we know the L and C of the line, then we can calculate ZC and we can insert that amount of resistance in the at the receiving end. So if we know the where is SI? Now, if the receiving end is loaded with characteristic impedance, then what happens? This is the A2 is the deflected wave. So in deflected wave, VR minus IRZC becomes 0. So actually, if we see at any point of the transmission line, there will be only incident wave. There will be no reflected wave. That we can also verify, but I have not shown that experiment here, but we can do it. Then we have to calculate voltage at any point, and we can measure the voltage any point, and we can see that one voltage and current will be in same phase, because whenever any component of this voltage will be absent, then only V by I will be constant, that will be equal to the phase of ZC. Otherwise not, is not it? So in that way we can verify. So V by I will be ZC at any point of the line. So if ZC has an angle of 35 degree, then V by the phase difference between V and I will be 35 degree. For lossless last transmission line, ZC is a constant, ZC is a resistance. So in that case, V and I will be in same phase. That's why for surge impedance loading, or for when the characteristic, the receiving end will be loaded with a resistance of equal to ZC, then we shall expect that we shall see the voltage and current are in same phase. So power factor at that point will be 1, cos 0 1. Now, what is afferent effect? All these I am telling you only for the recapitulation. You have learned all these thing in this semester, running semester. Still, so you know when the line current is capacitive or at no load, then we see the sending and receiving end voltage become more than sending end voltage. That means when we transmit power through a transmission line, then we actually supply voltage then at the sending end, and then that for that reason we get some voltage at receiving end, and we connect load, and we serve our purpose. But when we do the calculation numerically as for your examination, then you can see everywhere VR is given. From there you calculate VS. Why? Because VR is given, that means the load is specific. So for that particular voltage, load will perform ideally. Now, so if the receiving end voltage requirement is 400 kV line to line, then what will be the sending end voltage? This then in that way you will set the sending end voltage. So once you set, you will not change. So in that way, if you change the load at that time at receiving end, then the uh, power factor change, performance of the transmission line also change. So this may be the condition when current is purely capacitive, or this may be the condition when current is capacitive but not pure. That means that the load at receiving end is to some extent leading. We never connect a leading load, but if the lagging power factor of the load, it is lagging, but that is lower as compared to the capacitive effect of the transmission line, then apparent power factor at the receiving end will be leading. So for that reason, this scenario will come. So in both the cases, we shall see that the receiving end voltage is more than sending end voltage. So that we shall observe here. And remedy is not required here, but you know we can overcome this situation only by the shunt reactive compensation. And what is surge impedance loading? Surge impedance loading is if we load a transmission line at the receiving end equal to characteristic impedance of the line, then that is surge impedance loading. So it will be 3 into VR square by ZC. Here VR is in kV and in per phase quantity. Okay. And if it is in line to line quantity, then it will be simply VRLL square by ZC. So what is the difference between the if we load receiving end with a resistor ZC and a load ZC? Actually, load means you are connecting a power in MATLAB Simulink. That is different. But if we do the practically, then actually load means we shall connect a resistance only. But the modelings are different for load and for resistor. The modelings are different in Simulink. So I have taken both the model and see that we shall get the same result for that reason. Otherwise, if we do it in practically, then we can connect a resistance at the receiving end equal to ZC of the line. That much. 1 minute. So here MATLAB Simulink model I am using, that does not means you have to learn it. You just learn as if you are doing this experiment in lab. You have no need to know the MATLAB Simulink model for that reason. So here at any point of the transmission line, you know when there is surge impedance loading, then reactive var is equal to capacitive reactive var. So V by I is always ZC. So V and I will be the phase difference between V and I at any point of the transmission line will be same. But since you are using lossless transmission line, so angle of ZC is 0. That's why V and I are in same phase. So actually there will be no reactive power deficit or surplus in the line, right? Now what may be the circuit diagram? So if we want to simulate an actual transmission line, then there should be a circuit diagram. So there will be no resistance. but the resistance inductance per phase per kilometer should be connected in series, and capacitor will be connected in parallel, and they will be uniformly distributed. But this is practically theoretically possible. And it will be developed also practically when we send a power through a transmission line. But if we want to simulate it in laboratory, how can we do it? Because we have to make this connection. But in MATLAB Simulink, pi model of transmission lines are available. So for that particular pi model, the lines are distributed. Okay, but how much distributed, I do not know. For that reason, we have to simulate 400 kilometer, 400 kb, 50 hertz transmission line with the inductance value this much and capacitance value this much. You must remember this is this Henry per meter. This is Henry per meter. This will be per phase also. And line has no resistance. So in actually see MATLAB, so if we want to make this one in electrical power system, then so what will be total inductance of the line? This multiplied by 400 per phase. Then we have to distribute that for that much of inductance into some part, so that we can get some distributed parameter type effect. Okay. Otherwise, if we just connect that 400 into this 0.9377 10 to the power minus 3, then we shall get a lump parameter. So distribution, the effect of distribution parameter will not come in the observation. So what is done here? The total length of the line is divided into two parts, and two pi model are connected in cascade, so that we can get the effect of distributed parameter model of the long transmission line. But obviously, if we make more section, then the experiment will be more near to the practical one. So if we make it 4, it will be better. If we make it 8, then it will be far better in that way. Now here, since it is in MATLAB Simulink, all are three-phase basis, so we shall connect a voltage source of 400 kV line to line. Okay, so all are three-phase quantity. But if you do it in lab, then all will be in per-phase quantity, because there we cannot simulate a three-phase line. We have to simulate in per-phase basis. When you do your ABCD parameter calculation in next semester, then you will see it. Then we have to connect the load as per our objective to perform the experiment. So this load one time will be ZC, another time will be SIL, another time will be some other thing. So in that way, we shall proceed. So you write this table in your notebook, okay? So this table you copy right now. So there are three, six, nine columns, and there will be 6 rows, because there are 5 runs. You tell me when. There will be total 5 runs. Have you completed? Have you completed?
Ma'am, the first column and the second column, uh, both are
Speak
the
louder.
same, right?
1
Ma'am,
minute. That will be receiving end. You edit it. Second column will be peak to peak voltage at receiving end. Okay. For the yes. Second column will be only receiving end. I have actually copied and forgot to edit.
done, ma'am.
হ্যাঁ বলো, speak louder.
Completed, ma'am.
Okay,
Completed,
thank
ma'am.
you. So let us start. So first one was determine the seal of the line. So I have given you the inductance capacitance. In your report, you calculate it. And connect a load at receiving end which values equal to seal of the line. Tabulate result. Tabulation you have already done. I have shown you the table. So what will be the circuit? I have showing here, I shall show you the MATLAB Simulink model also. Here you see, you don't you forget about this above part. You see only this portion. Only this portion you see, right? So you see there is a voltage source at first, okay? So you have to connect a voltage source. This is the voltage source. Then from voltage source you have to measure the sending end voltage. So this block measure that one. So it is a measurement block. This one also measurement block. So if you forget about measurement block or meters, then it will be connected to a 200 kilometer pi model of the transmission line. So so this is the 200 kilometer long transmission line. Then again it is connected to similar transmission line so that we can get this model. Then we have reached the receiving end. Receiving end also there is a measurement block, and then we have connected a load equal to seal of the line. If you calculate the seal, it will come near to 592 megawatt. So here I have connected the 592 megawatt load and all are the measurement. Now what we need to measure? We need to measure peak to peak voltage at phase voltage at sending end, peak to peak phase voltage at receiving end. So in Simulink actually we have to extract the phase voltages. So from this block actually A, B, C are the phase quantities. Now if we want to measure phase voltage, then we have to go through the phase voltage measurement. Okay, then we shall connect it to scope in that way. Similarly also at receiving end, if we want to measure something, we have to go through the measurement block. So from measurement block, for phase quantity, we shall go to the phase voltage measurement because we are measuring phase voltage with respect to ground. Then we shall put it to the scope in that way. Now, so the MATLAB model. Now I can show you by zooming. I hope you can see the model. Can you see?
Yes, ma'am.
So actually whatever I have shown there, that figure is small. So that is the source, three-phase source. Okay. Here we can set voltage, frequency, resistance, reactance, everything. So that I have set. So voltage you have to set 400 kV, frequency is 50 hertz. Now source inductance we cannot put here 0. But in case of our calculation, theoretical calculation, we do not consider any source inductance. So actually for that reason, the actual measurement, actual calculation will vary to a little extent from the theoretical one. So this is the source. This is the measurement block, so that A, B, C is directly connected to the measurement block. From there you can directly get the three-phase voltage, or you can get individual phase voltages also, right? Now say I want to measure all the three voltages. Then what I shall do? I shall take this total three phase quantities to a scope. So that I have taken, right? So here VABC does not means that all line to line voltages, but it means that all three phase voltages will be displayed. But when it is ABC, that means only A phase voltage can be trapped, or B phase voltage or C phase voltage. So that is the function of this block. Now, since we want to measure sending end current, so I am taking the sending end voltage and current from here, phase current, phase voltage, so only for A phase, not for the combined one. So if I go through the volt current measurement, we can see the current. If we go through the voltage measurement, we can see the voltage. So, but voltage measurement or current measurement will provide you the voltage and current in the instantaneous value. So you can measure, you can observe it through the oscilloscope. Here it is scope. But if you want to get the RMS quantity, then you have to go through the RMS measurement. Okay. So through RMS, if we want to measure the voltage and current in RMS quantity, so you have to go through the RMS measurement and we have to display it. So it is the thing written this VL, SS, VS, LL, RMS. That means it is sending a line to line voltage. Since I have trapped the A phase voltage and take the RMS of that, so it will be the RMS value of the A phase voltage. Now, if we multiply it by √3, then only I can get the line to line voltage. That's why I have multiplied it only by the √3 and divide it by 10 to the power 3, so that I can directly get the voltage in kV, because then it will be more noticeable, because 400 kV transmission line. So if the difference in kV, it will be more observable. We can understand the thing better. So this is the thing. So in that way, we can measure the sending end voltage, phase voltages, and receiving end phase voltages also. Now, from the receiving end also through RMS values, we can get the RMS line to line RMS voltage. Now, one more thing is that we want to verify the power factor also. So I have told you that we can verify power factor at any point. So at midpoint also we could verify the power factor, because for SIL or characteristic impedance at receiving end, the power factor will be same. But it is meaningless when we are loading the receiving end with some other load. So I have selected the sending end voltage, sending end quantities to measure the power factor. So what we can do, we can measure sending end power, active power, and divide it by RMS value of sending end voltage and current. So that is done, right? So this is the power measurement. So voltage and current is feed. We can measure the P and Q as we do in wattmeter. Then these are the meter display. Now here we can take P and divide it by RMS quantity of voltage and current. Then we shall get power factor. If we make cos inverse, then we can get the power factor angle. So in that way. But in MATLAB, always it gives the power factor in radian. So if we want to convert it into degree, then we shall multiply it by 180 by pi. Okay. So this is the thing, how I have developed this circuit in MATLAB Simulink. But in practical case, we just connect all those lines and elements and we put the meters there. Okay. But I want to say that I have seen that if we take A cos, when the value of angle is lesser, then very small change in angle, the value in the cos theta, value in theta for cos will be more. Okay. Say 0.9990 and for 9998, the angle difference, if you make the cos inverse, it will be huge. So I have seen that the results obtained are not near to the expected. So I have done the different thing, but I shall show you, we can get the, in both the case, we shall get the same result. What we have done, what I have done, instead of active power, I have taken reactive power for the power factor measurement. So what is the equation? Vi sin phi equal to Q. So from there, I can get the sin phi. Then if we can make the sin inverse, then we can get the phi. So from there, if we measure the power factor, what is the advantage? Cos inverse is always positive, but if it is within 90 degree. But sin inverse is negative if the actual sin theta is negative. So we can get the idea of lagging and leading power factor also, right? So that's why I have taken this one also, and I have seen that for when if we measure power in this way, then it shows better result. But if we do the same experiment in the laboratory, then what we shall do? We shall feed this V and I to the phase angle meter. Then it will show whether power is this current is leading or lagging. So we have no need of this type of thing. Have you understood a little bit at least? If you have any question, you can ask me. No, actually, this thing
Hello, ma'am.
also no. Yes, tell me.
হ্যালো ম্যাম, রিঅ্যাক্টিভ পাওয়ারের কাজটা
I cannot hear you properly. Can you speak louder? Can you speak louder?
হ্যালো ম্যাম।
হ্যাঁ বলো।
হ্যাঁ ম্যাম, ওখানটায় বলছিলাম ওখানে ম্যাম যে রিঅ্যাক্টিভ পাওয়ারের কাছে ওটা ম্যাম যে ভিআই সাইন এক্স বাই ভিআই হতো না?
VI sin phi, PQ equal to VI sin phi. So if you divide if you make Q by VRMS IRMS, then you will get the sin phi. All are in phase quantities, not in total power.
But ma'am, you have written VI cos x by VI, na?
Where?
It will be
Here.
AC reactive power. It will be sending and reactive power.
Sending and reactive power. This is not cos x.
Yes, ma'am.
This is numerator. This is denominator. You are asking about this.
Acha. Okay,
You
ma'am.
are
Okay,
asking
ma'am.
about this block.
Yes, ma'am.
This is not cross. This is on calculation block. So whatever is the numerator, that will be in the multiplied terminal, and what is the denominator, that will be in the division terminal. So if there is a product term, what is the product? That is the RMS value of current, RMS value of voltage you see, RMS value of line voltage, phase voltage I have taken. Say this is the RMS voltage when I multiply it by √3 and divide it by 10 to the power 3, so that we can get the sending end voltage in line to line. But I have taken before that. So here sending end voltage is in volt, and sending end RMS value RMS voltage per phase. So that is one terminal, and another is, you see, another is this one, RMS for receiving end current. Sorry, sending end current. This will be IS, right? So that is RMS current and RMS voltage are multiplied, and that is the in denominator, and in numerator there is reactive power. Have you understood? So it will not be this one. This will be this one. Actually, I have not changed this one. I have not get time actually. This is the thing. Have you understood? Have you understood? This is arc sign, because this is the description of the
Okay,
block
ma'am.
that
Okay,
directly
understood.
come. So if you write
I
here
am
A
just
cos,
that
if you are to
telling about
change
that,
that one,
VI.
then it will not be changed. I cannot follow you. Tell me again. Ask me again.
I am just telling about that, ma'am. You have changed recently. It will be VI sin x by VI.
Oh, okay. That is actually description of the box. Actually, at first I have tried with the VI cos x. When I show the simulation, then you will understand. But that was not showing the result. Actually, we cannot, if we take the VI cos x by VI, then I cannot get the power factor type, whether it is lead or lag. But if we make VI sin phi by sin phi, VI sin phi by sin VI, then we can get sin phi negative or positive. From there, we can assess the power factor type also, type of power factor. That's why I modified this one, right? Now I am showing you the simulation for the board. Say this is the, when I have used VI cos x by VI equal to cos x for that. For everything result will be same. So this is 5 means I shall run the simulation for 5 minutes. But here 5 minutes does not match with the actual time. Now you see, At first, if we observe the waveform, right? Now you see whatever meter I have shown, the all are RMS meter. Peak to peak value you can only get from the scope. So what is in your table? At first, peak to peak voltage for the uh, peak to peak voltage for sending end and receiving end, right? So we have this meter, VS phase and VR phase. So if we click on that, if we make the auto scale, we can get this one. Can you see this waveform? You have no need to trace it, only just see. Can you see? Can you, it is visible, VS phase, VR phase, is it visible in your, from your side?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So you see,
Yes,
if
ma'am.
we get, if you get this type of observation, you can never measure the peak to peak voltage. It is very difficult because this is the scale is 4 into the power 5. Okay, so what can I do? We can zoom it vertically, right? So in that way, if we zoom it, we can get, see, you can see right now, it is 3.266 in 10 to the power 5 volt VS phase. So for run one, you can write that one in your table. Understood? Not peak to peak. I think it will be only peak. Peak to peak value. You delete that peak to peak. You write only peak value. Only peak value is peak value. It will be. Just modify it in the table. So can you, have you written 2.6, 3.266 10 to the power 5 volt? All of you have written. Similarly, for sending and receiving end also, if you see, you will see the same voltage, 3.266 10 to the power 5 volt. So what we expect, that if the receiving end is loaded with the steel of the line, then sending end voltage, receiving end voltage will be same, and we are getting same. All of you have written the values only.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now if we make the auto scale, so there no tracing is required, only measurement is sufficient. This tracing is not possible. I shall given this one in PPT to make you understand. You see, just to give you idea. Then I have given you this observation also, so that you can get it readily. Next is in the RMS. I think phase peak value of, what was the next table? You insert one more thing here, or at last in your table you insert peak value of receiving and current also. So there will be one more column, peak value of sending and current. Understood? This I have inserted right now. So now there is another oscilloscope where we can see sending end voltage and current. So sending end voltage and current, sending end voltage we have already seen. So if we zoom from here, so you see from the waveform, they are showing that sending end voltage and current are in same phase. But whether they are in same phase or not, we cannot exactly assess from here. Then we have to draw a vertical line. In that way, you have to draw. So this will be obviously 3.266. That we have already taken, so that is not required. 3.266, right? For current, current you see is more or less 1206.4. Can you see? It will not come. This 1206.4. Can you see this one? That is peak value of sending end current is 1206.4. So from there also you can calculate the RMS current. You verify the results in your report. Have you noted this one, peak value of sending end current?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So that also I have shown here. This is voltage, so this is the current. But you have no need to, you have already copied only for your verification. Now next is the RMS quantity. So RMS voltage, you see sending end RMS voltage is 400 kV, receiving end RMS voltage is also 400 kV. So you can write there. And it is sending active power in watt, first remember, 1.94 10 to the power 8 watt. And sending end reactor is only 4644. So as compared to sending end power, receiving end power, reactive power, reactive power is very low, so almost zero. That's why watt is needed. But it will not come needed in practical cases because there will be some source inductance. That's why it is not coming. So you note the sending and active power and reactive power. Now you see the power factor angle. You do not see the power factor so steady. So what I am getting 0.99998. So almost one, right? Have you copied active power and reactive power? You copied active power and reactive power. I am not getting your response.
Ma'am, the screen is froze.
Yes, ma'am.
Frozen.
1 minute. It is not good. It is showing 4644. I hope you can see it. Thank you so much. Wait for a minute, okay? I have to send some documents to HOD. Have you copied this? Have you copied the active and reactive power and the power factor?
No, ma'am.
Huh?
No, ma'am.
Yes or no? I could not hear.
No, ma'am.
No.
Yes,
Then
no,
you
ma'am.
copy.
We didn't copy.
No,
You
ma'am.
copy then this active power, reactive power, and power factor at sending end. You copy power factor angle. You do not copy. You do not copy right now. I shall explain. Have you copied?
Yes, ma'am.
Now you see why I'm not asking you to copy this phase angle metering. If you see with this 0.9998, then it should be equal to 0. So when you are calculating in radian, you are getting 0. But when I am calculating in degree, then I am getting 0.3674. The same simulation, the same result, if we do it sine inverse, then you see all the other results are same. Only the power factor angle is better with this one, because there is very mere difference between 0.9998 and 1, right? So that's why the power factor angle, it is better to rewrite this one, okay? But when you calculate theoretically, then you obviously will get 0 power factor angle, right? Phase angle difference. But why you am getting this one? Because this is based on calculation. So in calculation, whatever digit I am we are seeing here, there are far more digits. So that's why very small angle is showing. Have you understood my point? Have you understood my point? So it is
Yes.
better you write power factor angle by calculation. Otherwise from here, because here negative also you are getting, that means reactive power is negative, okay? Reactive power negative means capacitive bar at sending end. Shall I go to the next part?
Yes.
All of you have copied or not?
Yes, ma'am.
So actually, this is actually the technique. We can take Vi sin phi equal to Q or Vi cos phi equal to Q. But if we take the Vi cos phi, then we cannot get the idea of whether power factor is leading or lagging. But if I take Vi sin phi Q by Vi, then I can get the idea of whether at least power factor is lagging or leading. If I do not put this meter, because when we use in practical case, then there is no reactive power meter. We get only active power meter along with the phase angle meter. So in phase angle, there is a scope to feed voltage and current. From there, we can get the phase angle. But in this Simulink, we can get anything. Anyway, so these are the meter readings. I think this is not required. You have already copied. The next one, determine the seal of the line. Connect the a load at receiving end. Who is no? This not this one. 1 minute. Determine the characteristic impedance of the line. Connect a resistance at the receiving end whose magnitude is equal to characteristic impedance of the line and tabulate results. So here load will not be in terms of P and Q, but are equal to some impedance load. So in MATLAB Simulink, what happened? When load is in impedance mode, then we have to connect a series RLC branch. So here only R will be there, no and L and C. What is the difference with the earlier? In earlier case, it was series RLC load. Understood? Load means we have to specify voltage and power. Series RLC load may be maybe purely active, maybe purely reactive, maybe active reactive in that way. So if I go to the model, so I am now showing only with the Vi sin phi mode, because you know in both the cases result will come same. Now you see the result, your result will be almost same as the previous one, because here now receiving end is loaded with the characteristic impedance. So that is nothing but the seal of the line. One minute. In previous run, in run one, all the information have you tabulated in the table? Some is missed. In run one. In run one, all the information have you tabulated? I think you have missed the RMS value of current. Is it so?
Yes, ma'am.
So take this one, 853 ampere. Right? Now go for run 2. Have you, all of you have you copied 853 ampere? So you have already know the peak value 1206 point something. So divided by root 2, it should be 853, near to 853. So when we load it with the characteristic impedance, so here say I have submitted or connected a load of resistance to 70.71 at receiving. RLC wall we can give, but here we are calculating the resistance only. And in case of earlier case, when it was SIL, then load was, you see, 400 megawatt, 50 hertz frequency, 400 kV, 50 hertz frequency, 591 megawatt, in that way. Understood? It was 591 or 592, 591. Next is save. So if we run it, I have already run it. Now, what is the first column? You tell me. What is the first reading we have to take? What is the first reading we have to take? Tell me.
Sending in peak voltage.
I think first reading is peak value of phase voltage at sending end, is not it? So, can you follow me or not? Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
So, if you do not respond, how can I continue? So, first is peak value of phase voltage, right? So, the result will be same as the earlier because both are SIL. But let us verify. Just verify. So, you see the peak value of VS and VR 3.266. Here also it will come. So just copy from the previous row, right? Just copy from the previous row. Peak voltage of sending and peak value of sending end phase voltage and peak value of receiving end phase voltage. Understood? Then next is sending end current, peak value of sending end current. So we have seen that the same voltage will be same, and just where then I have again plot this one in this scope along with IS because we want to verify whether voltage and current are in phase or not. You see here voltage current is following the voltage, so voltage and currents are in same phase. So that's why voltage currents are plotted in the same scope. That is the reason. Now we see same 1206.4. So you can copy the reading, right? 1206.41 is sufficient. 1206.4 ampere. Then RMS value of voltage and voltages at receiving end and sending end are same 400 400. You can copy. Currents are coming only 0.1 more 853.1. You can copy. Now see when we are connecting in load format, in resistance format, resistor, the power sending end power is different. It is to some extent low. Okay, it is low, more less, far lower, less than the run one. It was 5964 like that. Now it is only 59.57. So from there you can get the power factor, can get the power factor again. So you can copy all the things. You copy all the things and then tell me I shall go for the next run. You must tell me after you complete this copying.
Completed, ma'am.
Okay. Power factor angle you may write, you may calculate, but you can verify that power factor angle near to 0. Okay. Then run, what was in run 3? So I think these slides are not required. You have already copied. So I shall skip, delete this slide from presentation. I think these are all these things you have copied. So run 3. Run 3 loaded, connected load equal to 200 megawatt. Not 200, I have connected 300, I think. This run 3. Run 3 is 800. More than SIL. What was in run 3? More than SIL, na? Load
Less
is
than
connected
SIL.
less than SIL. Okay, let me see. Run 3 and run 4, then I interchanged maybe. Yes. No problem. Things are same. Run 3. Connected load equal to 200 megawatt, na? These things have interchanged. So run 3. Load will be less than SIL. So this is a run 3. Load actually here I have connected 300 megawatt, not 200, because then we can get the result better, not more, nothing more than that. But if I do not correct it right now, I shall never get the time. So we also this simulation will be same as the run one, only the load will be different, right? So if we go directly to the simulation model, so your load will be 8 instead of 591, 800, 300 megawatt, right? And all other thing will be same. If I run it, now what we shall expect? That we have loaded the line with less than seal. Seal is near to 591, so it is 300 megawatt, almost half, because it is 600. 591 means more or less 600, so half of near to 300. So if I load it with, to load the line with, so obviously there may be a chance of Ferranti effect. Now you see, do not drop it now. So it is 400 megawatt in sending end, but in receiving end we are getting 429. But it may happen if you load it with 500 megawatt, still is 591. Then see, you see, voltage is 410 volt. So deviation may be lesser, but there should be some deviation. Send receiving end voltage will be more than sending end voltage. So in that way, so many simulation we can do here. So this is one example. Second, I am simulating for 300 megawatt at receiving end. All the power at receiving end at the unity power factor. Because in report I have told to calculate say, efficiency and voltage regulation in each case. So efficiency you can calculate because sending end active power and receiving end active power are known. And voltage regulation you calculate because L and C are known, so you can calculate A of the line. So you know A of the line, magnitude of VR, VS, you know. So using the formula, you can calculate the voltage regulation. Anyway, that is the report part. Now see what is the observation. Sending end voltage is more than 400, right? And sending end power factor is lagging. That means the system is becoming capacity. Okay. The inductive power demand is far less than the capacitive power generation. Anyway, let us fill up the table one by one. So at first, voltage, peak of voltage and current. So peak of Vs phase will always be same because we are not changing the sending end phase. So it will be always 3.26 is per 5 volts. So you can copy that one for the total 5 minutes. Because this is like the practical sending set. We have some sending end voltage. We are testing segments of the line for different loads at the receiving end. Now let us see the receiving end voltage. You say here it is near to 350. It's 350.5034 10 to the power 5. Right. Have you copied sending and receiving end voltage, peak voltage?
Copied, ma'am.
Then next is sending end peak value of sending end current, not it? Sending end current. And we have to check also whether voltage and current are in same phase or not. You see, current is to some extent leading. I cannot draw anything here. But if I drag from here, current is reaching the peak to some extent nearer. But it is difficult to identify here. That's why I have calculated the phase. So second voltage I am measuring again on current. You see, current is more or less 806.7 ampere. 806.7 ampere. Obviously, current will be lesser as the load is lesser. I hope all of you have copied 806.7 ampere. Then RMS quantities you can copy yourself. So RMS current, RMS voltage, and so RMS current, RMS voltage at receiving sending end, and RMS voltage at receiving end. You copy this. If you cannot see it, then I can zoom it more. So IS is 570.4 ampere, SLL is 400 kV, and VRLL is 429.1 kV. এখন কে? All of you who came late, you should write your name and roll number in chat box. So I hope you have copied the RMS voltage, RMS current, and two RMS voltages and two RMS currents, right? Then write the power factor powers. Okay. Here also power factor, reactive power is lagging because it is less than CIL. So obviously reactive power is leading because it is less than CIL. So obviously it will be the capacitive. Now you can see the power factor 0.8735. You can see the power factor angle is minus 29.13 degree. You have reactive power, you have power factor, RMS value of voltage and current. So you can measure power factor theoretically also, calculate power factor theoretically also, and verify it. Have you copied all the informations? Sending in active power is 1.151 10 to the power 8 watt. Reactive power is minus 6.414 10 to the power 7 watt. And power factor is 0.8735 leading. Power angle is minus 29.13. Minus does not means lagging here, because in case of power system, the lagging power factor angle is seen as positive. So I am going to the next run. In next run, so we shall load the receiving end with a load more than CIL. So CIL is 501 megawatt. So let us load it with 800 megawatt, right? So circuit diagram is same, all the loading will be changed. So loading is 800 megawatt. All other things are same, right? So if it is 8 megawatt, what can expect that sending end voltage, receiving end voltage will now drop, and power factor at sending end will be lagging since it is heavy loading condition. So inductive bar current, lagging current flowing to the line is, it will come lagging. Now see scopes. Sending end voltage is same, so you just copy from there. Receiving end voltage has been dropped to 3.05 10 to the power 5 volt. That means 305. Copy it at peak value of receiving end voltage. Then we need to tabulate sending end current, peak value of sending end current. At the same time, we have to see the phase angle between. Okay. Now you see sending end current. you see sending end current is now lagging, right? And current is more because it is now load is more. Current is reaching the peak at later than the voltage, right? So what is the value of current? It is more or less 1462.5 ampere, the sending end current. Now let's check the peak. Now you can see there is very small deviation in PB, in lime angle difference between the two peaks. That's why the angle is 13.19 degree. I hope you have tabulated the current as 1462.5 ampere. Next is RMS quantities you can tabulate yourself. The RMS current 1034 ampere current. Sending end RMS voltage is fixed 100 kV. And receiving end voltage is 373.5 kV. Now, if you want to verify your result with your theoretical values, then you should take receiving end voltage as 373.5 kV, find out ABCD parameter, calculate the VSIS, you will get the same result. Same type of result. Then sending end power factor, active power is 2.5 10 to the power 8. It. Have you copied? Have you copied?
Yes, ma'am. Copy clear.
I hope you have copied.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
shall now
Copy.
give this. Yes, tell me. Then the next is the sending 9736 is okay, have you copied? So 0.9736 lag is the power factor. Power factor angle is 13.19. So this is the run 4. I hope you have completed all the tables. Now next is run 5. So all these things I have shown you. Run 5, consider P equal to 0 at tabulate result. So we have to consider the no load condition. Now you see, so we shall make load equal to 0, is not it? But if you make this load 0, it will show you the error. You cannot connect, run it. 1 minute. It will show the error, right? So what can I do? We can connect a very small load, say as compared to the system parameter 0.01 watt. It is very low load. So if we apply that one, we can get the scenario. So under no load condition, obviously Ferranti effect will be more prominent, right? So in run 3, voltage was 420 like that at receiving end. Now it is near to 440. So huge rise. So let us go one by one. So at first the receiving end voltage, peak to peak voltage. It is more or less 3.59. So you can write 3.6 10 to the power 5 volt. Approximately equal to 360 kV. 3.6, or you can write 3.5987 10 to the power 5. This is the receiving end peak to peak voltage for phase value, phase voltage. That is the second column, I think. Right. I hope you have copied. Peak value of receiving end voltage is 3.5987 10 to the power 5 volt. Right. Then next is we have to measure the phase angle or current. Now you see it is very much observable that current is leading because current has crossed the peak far before the voltage. So it is a leading power factor condition because this line is at no load. Now what is the current? Current is low because there is no load at receiving end. Yes. It is more or less 558.25 ampere, 558.25 ampere, and it is observable 558.25 ampere. I hope you have written, and you can observe that current is leading. Now if we measure the RMS quantities, then RMS voltage at sending end is obviously 400 and at receiving end is 440.7 kV. Then you can assume how much regulation is there. Voltage regulation is negative, right? Net current is 394.8 ampere at sending end. RMS current 394.8 ampere at the sending end. Sorry. I hope you have tabulated. Then you see sending end power and receiving end power. Now you see sending end reactive power is huge because there is no load. Okay, so active power obviously will be very low. Ideally, it should be zero loss transmission line. But since there is some resource reactance is there, so it is showing some voltage, some power. Sending end active power is 84.21, whereas reactive power is minus 9.177 10 to the power 7. Right. So I hope you have copied the sending end active power and reactive power. Now you see the power factor angle. Power factor at sending end is 0.006413, so more or less 0. And power factor angle is near to 90 degree, minus 89.63. Since there is some active part, right? So you can write your experimental observation. power factor is this much and power factor angle is this much. So I hope you have tabulated all the things, but because I shall not give the result in tabulation, because I have modified so many things and I have given you the current results. So this is the run 5 where we have connected load at 0.01 watt. The Simulink circuit diagram is not required for you, as you do not draw the actual circuit diagram for lab. So I shall skip all thing in the leaf. I shall delete. Now what will you write in the report, right? Write name, number of the experiment, draw circuit diagram, write objectives, tabulate results for each run as you have tabulated, then do the following. Run 1, calculate fill of the line, verify results with theoretical calculation. Whatever result you have got, you calculate from the theoretical values. You have already learned in this semester. Next is calculate characteristic impedance of the line, verify result with theoretical calculation. Calculation of run 1 and 2 will be more or less same. Then for run 3, 4 and 5, justify the result obtained. So whatever result you have obtained in the table that you justify. Verify the Ferranti effect if applicable. So for low load the condition, Ferranti effect will be there. So you justify it is Ferranti effect should be there, it has happened. What is the extent that you explain? Then calculate efficiency and voltage regulation in each case, right? That means for all the cases, what is the efficiency and voltage regulation? For efficiency, you need sending end power and receiving end active power and sending end reactive power. So both are available from the table. And active power, sending and receiving and active power, you have set, so you know that. And voltage regulation, you can calculate magnitude of Vs by A minus VR by VR. So in every case, you know the magnitude of Vs in Vs RMS value. Then you calculate A of the line, that is cos hyperbolic gamma L. So from there, you can calculate voltage regulation in each case. Obviously, for ill or for low load condition, voltage regulation will come negative. For heavy loading condition, voltage regulation will come positive. Okay, so this is the thing. One more thing I must show you. We have seen the run for the 800 megawatt, right? That is run 4, heavy loading condition, right? Now when we have run it, just this is for explanation, nothing more than that. When sending and receiving end voltage is 8, receiving end power was 800 megawatt, whereas C was 591. Then if we see in the scope, it is not so visible that voltage and currents are, current is lagging from the voltage. But if you increase the load, say 1000, then it will be more noticeable. That I want to mention. Now you see this is not required to copy, just check this. Now it is noticeable, this current is lagging. So current is reaching the peak more than that. Now if we increase the more load higher, say 1200 megawatt. So 600 was the seal. Now I have increased the load twice of that. Only for your verification. Now you see. Okay, but if we increase it far higher, so you see voltage power factor at receiving end is decreasing 0.862527. Now we can theoretically we can make it 1500, right? Then now you see the scope, then obviously it is more noticeable, right? See, but what will happen whether it will be visible or not? You see, power factor angle is less than power factor is less than 0.85. So we cannot cater this load more than beyond less than 0.85 power is not allowed. So that I want to convey. Okay. So whatever I have shown you for the specific loads, you just write report for that as I have discussed. Do you have any doubt? If you have any doubt, you must ask me.
যেটা দেখায় মানে পাওয়ারটা হচ্ছে বেশি
I cannot hear you. Speak louder.
and in the end what you have just
In
demonstrated,
the end,
you have shown that power factor cannot exceed that value. Can you
that is the rule because the power factor is that actually rule of the of industry. If it is power factor is less than 0.85, then what will happen? Huge current will flow through the line. So actually there will be loss in the line. So that is always prohibited in that way. No industry or no consumer is allowed to uh, consume power at less than power factor less than 0.85. In that case, they have to adopt the compensation, and locally they have to improve the power factor. That is the reason. Understood?
yes sir.
Any more question? So I shall skip all this. I do not want to increase the file size necessarily because all these things we have already understood and this is not required for report. So only the procedure part that will be helpful for your report. This process part and then this part report guideline diagram, or actually that just delete pictures. I shall send you the PDF. Okay. You prepare the report and send me within 1 week, right? Within next Tuesday. Otherwise, holiday will come. Holiday will we started. I know that one, but you will forget all the thing after puja vacation. So you complete it by the next Tuesday and send it to me, right? Thank you. Everybody has written the. So I am stopping the recording. Everybody has no. So everybody has written their name in the chat box. Everybody, otherwise I shall not give any attendance. All the names will be in chat box. Otherwise, I